Today, the Daly family runs a successful raw dog food business in Waterlooville. However, it all began 9 years before when their family dog was diagnosed with bone cancer.
One of my dogs got cancer, and I had been feeding kibble. And because he hated the vets, we couldn't do chemo, and I just started to research what we could do to prolong his life and boost his immune system. And raw kept coming up. I'd never heard of it before, but because it just kept coming up in so many searches, I decided that I would give it some serious investigation. And within a couple of weeks, I'd done enough research and felt confident enough to give the diet a go. And he was switched immediately to that diet. Also, our other dogs at the time, just because it's easier to feed them all the same thing. He did have to have his leg amputated because it was bone cancer, but the vets had told us that he would be dead within a year because it's a really aggressive cancer and it spreads rapidly through the body. Fortunately for us, he actually lived for another 8 years. And well, I know what I believe, the switch to a healthy diet without any carcinogens or colourants.
Sharon Daly developed Paleo Ridge after the raw diet her dogs were on was successful in prolonging her dog's life, and it soon gained popularity amongst her family and friends.
Because he was unwell, and because I had 5 large dogs, I have Rhodesian Ridgebacks and a chocolate Labrador, I sourced all my own food, so I went to abattoirs myself. I got the relevant licence that enabled me to go direct, so I could be sure exactly what I was feeding him, which I did. I visited several abattoirs locally, and in the course of doing that, obviously people sort of hear that you're going, could you get me some stuff? Could you get me some stuff? That other people that fed raw. And it just started to grow from there, really.
Although the business started off small, it gained momentum with plans to widen their market.
I mean, it was just a mincer, literally in my mum's kitchen, on the side with a couple of chest freezers. That's how it started. Expanded out of that. Run out of space in the front room for freezers, so moved into a warehouse. Yeah, I mean, even in the last 12 months alone, we've done at least 120% growth, which, I mean, as you probably know, most businesses are happy to see 10 or 20%. So the future plans at the moment are to try and break out into some of the retailers, some of the pet shops, and try and take it from there, really. We want to try and get, as much distribution as we can on our food because we think it's great, and it's obviously the healthier option for dogs. The more people that are feeding their dogs the raw diet instead of kibble and the more unhealthy option, the better. Whether we tell our customers, if you don't want to buy from us, then just feed your dogs raw. We try and promote the diet as opposed to promote our own business.
After Sharon's dog Herbie beat the odds surviving for another 8 years, she believes a raw diet shouldn't be overlooked as a treatment.
It's a switch to a raw diet. You've got dogs that have been on steroids and various different medications, and people generally, like I did with cancer, come to raw when they've exhausted all conventional avenues. The vets are treating them, but they're not getting better. And, so many spend thousands and think, how could just a simple change to raw food benefit? It's so simple, it's almost overlooked, but it makes a massive difference.
A local family's love for their dog has now turned into a successful company, and it all started with man's best friend. Jessica Christie, That's TV.